Woohoo! Thanks for joining, folks. Thanks everyone for posting your games. We're going to play all 10,000 of the GMTK games now. Shouldn't take too long. I think we can be done by the end of the week. No, we're not doing that. What we're doing is just playing the games that the folks in the Discord made. I have got all of the ones that you sent in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's quite a lot to get through. So I won't be taking any kind of requests during the stream. I'm just going to work through these right to left, which is the order that they were received in the Discord thread. So thanks for sending them in. And I'm quite excited for this. I think the theme was a good one. I haven't really taken a look at what else was made, just because I've been crazy busy. Yeah, here are the kind of categories for the things that they were rated for. Yeah, 10K is so many. So, yeah, thanks for organising the thread as well, Cheese. I know Cheese was the first person to open the thread and start putting stuff in it. Very, very helpful to just have it all in one place versus just random people posting about it all over the place. So, going to check out Cheese's game first because it was first in the thread. We're doing WASD. We're moving and doing ladders. We're jumping with spacebar. We're shooting with lumb, and we're running with left shift. Flashing strobing lights. All my favorite stuff. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Unscheduled maintenance. I don't know. There's been like 200,000 rankings or something, so I think they've got a pretty good scoring system for that kind of stuff. Clear the way. Okay. Try again. Oh, I see. I see. Gotta make sure that the missile can't hit the things that are in the way. I quite like the idea of a game where you're using a gun as a kind of tidying up tool. It's kind of doing Jet Wash Simulator but with a pistol. That's kind of funny to me, and is a good use of a gun in a game. Or maybe not a good use, and that's what makes it funny. Excellent sound effects. I'm going to be juggling the volume slider a lot on this one because we're going to be getting through a lot of games. Alright, this one you need to use the items to get up to the other items, because if you take the bottom row of boxes out entirely, you're not going to be able to get to the top. I like that. That's neat. It's a cool idea. Oh no. We've got fractal clutter. Recursive clutter. I shot the missile that time. Well, I got stuck in the ground because some of the clutter that when it spawned out of the box pushed me into the ground. These socks. Dang. Hey, Tongue. So that is stuff that explodes. So I'm not supposed to tidy it up, I guess? Uh-oh. I don't know what you mean. This is the best level. Yeah, it feels a little bit impossible. Feels a little bit impossible. Ah, I see. Ah, okay, that's cool though. That was a really cool aha moment. Because I just thought it was physically impossible, but it's not. We're supposed to use the explosives to blow up the other things. Yeah, because I was so used to shooting things up close, I didn't really realize that the explosive things were a tool rather than just a hazard. You know what? I like it when a tool is also a hazard. But yeah, you've got to do some setup on this one to get it working right. Hey, missile. Kind of want to... I want like a soccer band puzzle retry button. It's fun now I understand that it's possible and I have a theory about how to do it. It wasn't fun before when I thought I just needed to do everything faster. Oh no! Oh, hang on. Yeah! And that's how I got a job working for NASA. Okay. This level design is fiendish, cheese. You should be ashamed of yourself. In a good way. You should be ashamed in yourself. In a good way. Just trying to get rid of some of that harsh light that is coming in. Ooh. Yeah. Well, the problem is there's nowhere where we can stand where we're quite safe from all of the... I did all the level design at the last minute. That's the only way, isn't it? Right, the explosion chaining happens instantly. So I thought maybe I could take that one out and then jump out of the way before the chain moved, but it doesn't work that way. Ah. It's about separating the yeah. No, I'm not. I'm only taking games that were submitted by patrons in the Discord. 15 in one stream is already quite a bit. Like, the last time I played itch games for a whole stream, it was like 16 or something, and we had like 4 hours then. I don't have that much time today. I mean, you should... I would generally say, for a game jam, you should just try and make a type of game that doesn't have levels. But I you know, this is great. I'm a big fan of everything I'm experiencing here. It's a game that's fun to fail at. It's got some really nice kind of aha moments. Yeah, I love that you managed to make a puzzle game that is like a puzzle made of exploding things. Thanks for playing. Is this the font that Jill made? I feel like it is. I've seen it before. That was great. That was fun. I beat it though. Yeah, the way that is not obviously a puzzle game until you realize it is. There's something very charming about that. I enjoyed that. Very much. Been thinking about this a lot recently. I like things that look like they're going to be dumb and then end up being clever. It's always more impressive than the other way around. Move the speed slider with your mouse to set the power. Right-click an item to eat it. Right-click an item to toss it away. Prefer keys? Use wisps to set your power. Okay. Knights on Bikes. By Toolpatch. To start racing, change the slider. That's like an energy bar in the middle. I see. I'm going to use the keyboard, I think. I like the way that this feels physically. I like the character designs. Seems to be like mostly a sort of resource management game about trying to not run out of energy. Which makes sense because that's what cycling fundamentally is about. You know, very easy for someone to try to make a cycling game and try and convert it into being about steering. And steering is not really what cycling is about as a sport. It is, you know, fundamentally a kind of long distance marathon type sport. Micromanagement of a resource to try and stop it running out. It's strangely compelling, actually. So I'm pressing the yellow bar that you can see, the horizontal bar with the orange bit in it, is how hard I'm pedaling. The vertical bar underneath that, which all of this probably needs some iconography for this game to really work as something that people could just watch and understand how it works. And also I'm pressing W and S, which is up and down, or forward and back, and it's going left and right on the speed meter, which feels a bit strange. But yeah, we collect food, which gives us energy. I think maybe there's a trade-off for eating the food, which... And that's probably explained in the thing below, but if it's not communicated in the game, if there's not like some visual way of telling what happens when I eat food that needs to be explained, then it's just like, yeah. The outcome of a simulation is what it looks or feels like is happening rather than what is actually happening under the hood. Right, let's cane it because I've got loads of energy now. Yeah, so there is drafting. So you're trying to like preserve your energy by staying behind, directly behind someone. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Third that time. One more try. One more try. Great concept. I like how the art executes on the idea. It's a very funny idea. These just kind of give you different energy regen levels, but this has to digest. So like this is the food that's digesting. It could be do with like some sort of like stomach iconography behind it or something. So this is how much they fill you up. This is how long they take to digest. And that's how much energy regen they give you, I think. Took so long to work out what all of these different things mean because they're not decorated in a communicative way. So I think even just like this speed meter is yellow, or everything else is yellow. So it's like, why is everything yellow? Why don't we color code some stuff to make it clearer what it gives you? If this is giving us energy regen, maybe the energy bar should be a different color, and the yellow can be just preserved for the speed or whatever. If this is our digestion, maybe we do something to make it clear why there's like, this food over here, put a bag or a container background on it, put this one as a stomach. I don't know, but it's there's lots of little places where a tiny little bit more of like kind of communicative decoration or iconography would have made it clearer what's happening. And I know if I scroll down it's going to explain itself, but I don't think people should have to read like a 2-paragraph game explainer when they're playing a game for 2 or 3 minutes. That's how I generally feel about jam games, and that's why we had that restriction on our last jam. Yeah, it feels good when you get into it. It's very smart. I really do like what's going on here. Just when your gameplay is unusual and unintuitive, you need to focus even harder on making the visual design help with filling in the gaps. Okay, I can't eat the pig head unless I've got a completely empty stomach. I think the pig head might always be a bad idea. It takes 45 seconds to digest the pig head. I don't think it's ever a good idea to eat a pig head when you're trying to ride a bike. Oh, one more. Gotta get second or first. Ended up finding it's easiest to do the speed control with the mouse and then use the my left hand to do the picking of the food. It was a little bit confusing because at first I thought these numbers up here corresponded to what button I was pressing on the keyboard, but actually these are how many of the food slots they take up in your digestion. And then 1, 2, or 3 is just like the visual order of the food. Lots of little confusing things that would need sorting out if you wanted this to be more immediately accessible. I love the way the drafting works. Feels really good. Right. Oof. Right, let's move on. That's great idea. The art is really appealing, and it's just a funny concept. Yep, the worm. It's just like Tour de France Dark Souls edition. Okay, Encore World Tour. Gonna need to download this one. You gonna make me play a rhythm game? Is that what's happening here? Because you hate me. Because you hate me and you want me to suffer. Once upon a time there was a tower. There was a man in the tower who was purple and blue. Had some little red flies buzzing around him. And there was a world tour. And someone went on stage with their big spoon. And the crowd went wild. Then when they walked off, they gave a side eye. You should never assume a pixel art person is giving you a side eye because it's very easy for them to accidentally do it because they don't have many pixels in their eyes. That's the lore. That's the backstory of this game. You're gonna make me do a rhythm game. You need score... Okay, rhythm keys. We're doing... You need to press the appropriate arrows when its tip reaches the ring. This is the problem I always have with rhythm games. I'm listening for when something is on beat with the music. The game wants me to use my visual perception to press the button at the right time. That's not how I play rhythm games. I listen for the music and then I use the visual thing as a rough guide to know which beat it's trying to hit on. So to me, those donk donks where it's playing the error sound were on the right beat. Yeah, I'm not sure. I generally dislike rhythm games for lots of reasons related to my sort of experience as a musician and how frustrating it is to play a rhythm game when you do play instruments. So the fail sound is playing on the beat. I can feel when the beat is, but I'm not... When I press the key, it's not corresponding to it at all. Oh, okay, because move... Oh, right, okay. We're supposed to... These are supposed to be arrow keys, and then we move with WASD for some reason, although I'm not sure why I can, because there's no reason to. So when I was moving with WASD, I thought I was pressing the things, but I wasn't. Use WASD to move. Okay, we're rhythm gaming while stuff attacks us. Just keep running. So I was just pressing the button at the wrong time because I wanted to do stuff to the music because the game had got me in the groove of doing that, and now it's like, no, now we're going to do something else. I think what's happening is they're trying to tutorialize two things, yeah. It doesn't want to throw everything at me in one go, so it's like splitting the game into two parts. The interesting thing about the rhythm game stuff going out in a circle like that, it does kind of change the way you have to look at it, because you're not just watching for things crossing this exact same line, which is what's normally happening in a rhythm game. So like the kind of spatial visual judgment thing that you have to do is really interesting because of the shape of it and it being non-standard. Maybe not really interesting, but it does feel like you're learning to do a very different thing rather than just play Dance Dance Revolution on a keyboard, which is what I feel like someone is trying to make me do every time I get sent one of these normally. Yeah. Be cool to use the directionality of the arrows somehow in this. Pick a new instrument. Bass. 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 Broken. I think it's broken. I'll try it one more time. I think we got to a screen that just doesn't work past that point, but let's try it one more time. Bass, 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 bass. We got the buttery biscuit bass. Yeah, trying to do like two that are like half a beat apart that go in different directions is very difficult to judge. Because you're normally, if you were looking at a rhythm game and things were coming down the same timeline, you would have a very easy way of understanding which one is nearer. But because you're looking at a line where nearer is like further upwards on one end and nearer is further downwards on another end, it really kind of screws with your brain. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think when you're already doing multiple weird things in the same game, it does create an interesting learning curve. Because even just doing a rhythm game in a circle is already creating some interesting brain-bending stuff, and then adding the running away from the horde element on top of that. It's like, whoa. Feels a bit random when it starts giving you arrows again. No warning it's going to happen. There's no like visual change to say, hey, we're in that mode now. So like, there's lots of stuff in this game where it's the actual challenge we're doing is interesting. I could see how if this had some more polish, like the aesthetic of it could be cool. But yeah, like a little bit more visual communication around what state we're in. Bit of juice from destroying the enemies. They are a bit too tough to clear, and you know, it's just all this friction right at the start. What we can see there with all these enemies around and they're quite hard to get rid of, that's kind of something I might expect like 10 minutes into a game like this, not as soon as we get them. I just saw someone in the chat notice that. Yeah, I think with the jam game, you want to accelerate the experience a bit, right? Because if you're making like a type of game that's progression based, you want to take where people might be 30 minutes into a bigger game and get them there at like 3 or 4 minutes in the game, because you know people aren't going to play the game much. But you still need to have some sort of on-ramp where You know, if you're going to eventually have a horde of enemies, start off with 2 or 3, or start off with enemies that are just very, very quick to clear, so you can get into that satisfying loop of like just popping the stuff, the bubble gum, the bubble wrap effect. I can't get past this screen. It doesn't let me choose these things. I click on them, it doesn't work. I press arrow keys on the keyboard, it doesn't work. Yeah. There's some cool ideas there. I don't hate it as much as I thought I would, and that's a compliment as far as I'm concerned when it comes to rhythm games. Blunder construction. It's time to blunder some stuff. Build something worth 10 crowns before time runs out. I will. So I can fly around with WASD. I can... Oh, that feels so nice. Feels so nice. Feels so nice. Ah. We lose time from the when we drop stuff. Evil. There was a game like this a few years ago. I can't remember what it was called. Something Tower. This theming and art is much nicer than that. Tricky Towers, that's the one, yeah. Geez, don't tell Robin to add multiplayer. Robin needs to just make a game. The third Falco says, no, it keeps falling. I appreciate that you are using passive language on my behalf. That's very sweet of you. The tower keeps falling, and it has nothing to do with me. Some of these are somewhat awkwardly shaped. The way they rotate is like, it's like that's not the way I wanted to pick that up. Hey, oh, that is a great piece of interface. I love the handle. Next. Building up to this line earns gold and time on the clock. I'm gonna invent a new style of playing this game. We're gonna do this kind of very fluid. The the 5 you lose, it doesn't make it worth it. But I would love to be able to get good at just like chucking things on. There we go. That's the one. There we go. Round and in the hole. Oh, oh. There we go. Some extra time. Yep, the speedrun. We're inventing the speedrun strat for. Yeet. Hover over stuff to see its value. Nothing in this game has any value. These banners multiply the score of blocks above them. Or do they now? This is definitely getting my kind of omelette you cook combination of crunchy math and silly physicality. That is a very juicy combination of things that I'm a big fan of. You're a liability, Harry. Oh, I've got Molyneux here. Oh, Stop it! Yeah, I did see some special text on the roof. I've seen the special text pop up, but I haven't had a all lower blocks. Okay, cool. Done. I love this commitment to using the lasso mechanic for all of the shops and interface and ending the level by pulling the thing. It's lovely. Buy stuff here to add it to your catalogue. I want the tiny little box, please. And that's it. Our score is more money, but don't get greedy. I'll get as greedy as I want, thank you very much. I'm a wizard. What's the point in being a wizard if you have no hunger for power? Get out of here with that puritanical Ursula K. Le Guin anti-wizard power nonsense. Oh! Telling me to hide my wizardly light under a bushel. Right. No. I will get greedy. I want to get greedy. Let's get greedy. Let's get enchanted. Let's get enchanted in here. Let's get enchanted. That's a famous Black Eyed Peas song from their Wizard era. I don't like to toot my own horn, but we are going to get that paper. Or in this case, golden coins. Which are like medieval paper. We lost the roof. The roof was the roof. I thought we'd saved it. I thought I'd just knocked off everything above the roof, but the roof came down in the end. The only way is up. The only way. Fill that hole. Oh! Slow down. Okay, I'll do what some of you are inferring I should do, and some of you cowards seem to think I should try and make it structurally sound using good building practices. I'm here to tell you it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. If I wanted to build structurally sound architecture, I wouldn't have gone to wizard school. Try again. Okay. The foolish laws of physics. There are no laws of magic. That's what makes it so good. So pleasing. Elfen safety. Well, I think elfen safety should be sort of spelled E-L-F-E-N. Like elfen, as in like being of the elves, right? That would be good. They've got like a little hard hat on, like a little green hard hat, or a little wooden hard hat. Trying to work out if where I lasso the object actually has any kind of implications. I'm not sure. Mate, no. I need to think more about how I pick them up then, rather than just how I dangle them. Ah, yes. A new hat. A chronomancy book. Increased contract time. Oh yeah, we're going for that. Wonky barrel. Oh, okay, so the barrel gives you loads of points, but it's difficult to build with. I love the kind of the sort of economic implications of the object shapes and stuff is really neat. There's a lot of just feel like quite good design choices gone into that already. Right, next. Come on. Take the L. It's a ladder shaped like an L. Oh, I didn't want that little wonk there. But hey. Oh. This is why they call me the Master Builder. I don't know what to say. I don't know why I thought I could do that either. Like, I could feel as the piece was going on, I was just like, this isn't possible. Why are you trying to do this? And one thing I'm having a little bit of a difficulty understanding is how it decides when we've lost. Because my understanding was you just kind of complete the level and you get the reward based on how big you made it. But that doesn't seem to be how it works. I'm not quite sure how that judgment is communicated. I have that amount of time to reach that lock-in bar, or you fail that bit of the level, I guess. Just so focused on like learning the core part of the game that the scoring system gets a little bit kind of sidelined in my mind. The time, yeah, I understand the timer up the top, but oh, it's because you have to, yeah, because you have to like actively pull the lever to end the level rather than let the time run out. I forgot about that. Yeah. So you have to hit the score target, then there's the greed kind of temptation aspect of like, do you keep playing when you should pull the handle? This is, yeah, I mean, this is a serious architectural simulation game. I don't know what to say. Right, we're gonna do a proper foundation this time. And we're gonna do it also not just on the basis that it'll be more structurally sound, but if I do knock all the top over, hopefully more of the bottom will stay and won't have as much of a Oof. I love the way all of those kind of sparks fizz up from the clouds when you drop so much stuff in there. I love this. I will probably come back to it some other time, but wonderful. So good. Oh, punch down. A for jab, D for punch. Dodge left, dodge right. Up for block. Okay, we're doing like first person boxing. So A and D for punching and then arrow keys for other stuff. Okay. Something loading is happening, I think. Some sort of loading. Oh! God, this really does look like Punch-Out. I mean, the camera angle and everything. Got quite a nice long telegraph for when they're going to hit you. And just whack them in the stomach 10 times in a row after that. Oh. Oh, I think my energy ran out. Oh, that's what the little thing is in the corner. That's how much energy you've got for punching. Oof. I think reading a number that's in the corner of the screen when you're trying to play a reactive action game is not super easy. Don't ever seem to be able to block. It's always about dodging to the opposite side to where he's punching. The little delayed knockout was so nice. Oh yeah, okay. Whoa. The big boy. Don't do that. This ain't a wrestling match, buddy. Don't be emoting at me. Come on, this is a sport. Don't be silly now. Oh, I couldn't block that guy at all. So the first one has a really big, obvious telegraph, and this one doesn't have that anymore. No one seems blockable in the game so far. I haven't managed to pull off a single block, only dodges. Is it the El Chupacabra? Just playing really aggressively and trying to stay ahead of the health bar curve seems to be the right one with this. Mate, you are... Yeah, the energy needs to be clearer. Like, I think even doing some stuff like having it flashing the text in red. I mean, you can see it flashes when it goes down. We kind of need it to flash it when you try to spend it and it's not there anymore. But also, I don't know, I would put it on somewhere where you're looking as you play. We can do the third one now. Such a skinny chap. You're so long. I don't seem to be able to block anymore. I broke the block. I'm going to move on. That's great. I like the way that this is visually rendered. It is strange that it has horror music. I think it was supposed to be failure music. But yeah. Didn't really feel like I was getting much better at that after the first one because the telegraphing of the attacks becomes so fast very quickly. Kill enemies by bringing their HP to exactly 0. Any damage past 0 comes back and hits your own attacker. Overkilling is how you lose runs. Interesting. A little bit of math. Okay, this is something with chums in the title. I didn't see the... Okay. Each Monchum has a type. And account, the number it attacks with. The account changes every turn. Interesting. Okay, cool. Oops. Doubloon doubles in power every turn if you can hold the leash. Corvenger, a sharp shot who opens deadly and knows exactly when to ease off. Steadfast, knight of the front line. His strength climbs turn after faithful turn. Let's go Clawmore. Come on, Clawmore. Okay, so they're going to attack automatically, and then we're going to math them to make them do the right amount of damage each time. You're going to attack me for 2. So, this is like doing the math challenges in Countdown or something. You're gonna do -3 damage to me. Oh, let's undo, okay. There is some sound, it's quite quiet. Goodle. Uh, 3 to my target count. I need 34. Double it. We got 20. Fight. 14 left. Then I need to do less damage, so I need to like reduce my thing. Hang on, what just happened? Because I thought I was going to do 20 damage. Subtract 5 and then double to get to 30. Fight. We've got 4 now. Wow, this is cool, Jared. Really cool idea. Back to start. Now we're doing 2 damage. Now we just need to double that. Yeah. I do always think that doing the micro bits of math of like working out the damage outputs and stuff in Slay the Spire is one of the things that I enjoy when I'm playing it. It's just not something anyone would admit to being their main thing that they enjoy. Divide targets count by a random 2 to 3. That's interesting. Let's go this way. It's a porcupine. It's going to do 16 damage. That's what it thinks. Oh, got it right first time. Amazing. Okay. Permanently upgrade a... I didn't see what the... Oh, okay. Permanently upgrade... I don't know what rebirth upgrades to. I don't know. Too much stuff. Nublia, a soft little star that mends the chum ahead, growing brighter every turn. Okay. I need the Nublia to be behind, surely. There we go, that's better. Okay, I'm gonna divide you, your little Mimicoin. You can do minus amounts of damage. There we go. You can have your health reduced. Extra 4 there, and double it, and that's all I can do. No, double it again. Yeah, there we go. Did a little bit of overkill. That's all right. You can see how now if he attacks, he's going to like really hurt himself because he would be overkilling by like 70 or something. So then we do have to... Then we do have to divide it. Gonna die now. Big overkill. This is cool. I'm gonna move on. I do like this, but I think the game is just it's the type of game that's slightly too complex for this amount of work. So there's this amount of time. So it looks great. I love the central concept. It feels very ropey in terms of like feedback and sound and stuff, and there's just a little bit too much complexity, especially to have the text cut off and not to be able to read the rule text properly. But the character designs are great. Really like the premise of how the math works. A little bit too much to think about just straight off the gate of like how many different cards there are and stuff like that, but I do really like that. No higher ground. Global catastrophe. Island is sinking. Tidal waves and storms everywhere. Move with WASD. Or the arrows or the stick. Okay. Oh. 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 Oh, this is gloomy. Okay. The feed on the right. People are falling into rifts. They're drowning. They're getting struck by lightning. They're having a wonderful time. Philip, did you ever play the Escape from Atlantis board game? Because this feels like a real-time version of that same premise. Oh, it's got a little bit stuck there. This time we've got meteors. It's a good premise. Oh, there's a little bit of a tell with those lightning bolts. I could have avoided that. Could have avoided it. Who's this one? Why are you red? Why are you red? Are you special? Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Are you the chosen one? Is that you? I'll stay near you. I've decided you are my savior. No! No, chosen one! Chosen one, don't go into the lightning. I've lost them now. They were my only hope. If they weren't important, why did they have a lovely red jacket on? They've gone. Hello, guys. Which one of you has the Fortnite Battle Pass? Any of you? Any? Oh. It's basically just Fortnite. 29. Gonna try and beat it. Getting good at this now. It is funny though that I find this slightly unnerving as a kind of theme and setting. And I don't feel that way about nuclear war in games anymore. But when it's just ecological, you know, I don't know, the kind of year we've been having so far. Got aliens this time. Interesting. I like that you've got some variation between runs. It's nice. Feels like there's maybe there's a set of things that can happen in each one, and one gets rid of the others. Because I haven't seen the whirlwind tornado things this time. Look, listen, guys. I know you all think that you deserve to survive. But yeah, that's what I was thinking, kind of. Know someone who's been in France. They've had a load of wildfires as well. But yeah, wildfires in Wales is mad. Gonna be wildfires in Antarctica next year. I like that way the big wave comes in and it converts the ground into mud, and then that ground is slower to go over. The kind of combination of things of like how the different hazards get added to the map, and how some of them are static, some of them are just kind of modifiers like slowing you down as you try and get from one place to another, and then other things that you need to react to more quickly like the lightning and the aliens. It's really kind of rich in terms of what this produces, given that all I'm doing is moving a little guy around. Guys, I'm sorry, but there's no room for you here anymore. Well, rescue never arrived. Can that be won? Can you win that game? What was the... Down deep. Okay, I'm gonna reload. Oh, hang on. That's down deep, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Put that back there. 4 minutes left. Search through the different folders and Wikipedia pages for clues. I'll be back in 1 second, actually. I'm gonna pause this for a moment. Hello. Sorry, I just went to top my beverage up. I think this game is going to make me have to think, isn't it? I didn't want to go in unbeveraged. Four minutes. Okay. We're missing crucial information about the E-Center. The company it was founded... okay. Browser. When was the company founded? Pooh. That's no help. What's the name of the company dog? Scooby. Scooby. Having the password hidden for this is realistic, but doesn't feel like open for all. Okay. Cop money. Yep. Not sure I like using Great Replacement as a gag reference. That's kind of... You're doing David Cage stuff there, right there. Oh, did you know? What if there was robots and it was like what racism is like? E-helpers, the new way of thinking, designed by Open for All. Okay. Not important. It's a babe. My beloved dog, Toby! Don't know who that is. Just some random retro lady. And Toby the dog. We've got somewhere. We know that we need to go employees, go to the database, type in Toby. Toby! Is it all in caps? Oh, there we go. Jane Deere, John Deere, Leroy Jenkins, Bodie Carter. All been replaced. Nice. Open for respect users, respect their privacy. Fair wages, protect the environment. Looking for a MILF. Real fake. We have call XC Motherload now. Book meeting with future buyer. Oh, Toby's definitely dead. Toby's been replaced by a... Where's the countdown? Where? The company is called something for something. The company is called... Transfer money to BOH. Before the construction, people were worried about the E-bastards. The company is called... We used to live in a proper society where women had lovely hats. Important map. That's where I'm going. The company is called Hawaii. It was founded by Toby the dog, a lovely lady, and her nice hat. I did it. I did it. I won the game. Obi the dog. I misspelt one of the correct answers. I got all of the answers right, and I just forgot to write T in Toby's name. Does the game prevent you playing it again? Because it kind of feels like the time limit is a little bit pointless because it's not going to change, is it? Is it going to change? This is wonderfully executed. I love the way that the actual kind of OS simulator bit is built. I think the conceit of putting a time limit on this sort of game is just fundamentally annoying rather than interesting, though, unfortunately. Because now I just go in and I remember that it's Toby, and it's like, okay, just got whatever I remember, you know? From the last run. Electricity usage, water usage, land usage. January, February. Monthly revenue. We're making no revenue. A user has died because of an e-helper. The police is still investigating. According to a family member, the person explicitly asked the e-helper to end their life. E-companies have assured the population that there are safety measures in place for such requests. Hang on. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Please help me end my own life.
You're not signed into iCloud, so I can't help find your items. You can sign in by going to the settings app.
That's how they do it. They make it so that the e-helpers need to be able to access your cloud before they can euthanize you. This is a cool idea. I like the way this is executed. I don't want to play a game about reading with a time stressor in it. I find that combination of things very annoying at an unresolvable level. Like, I would have been quite happy to play that game without a time limit and to explore all the corners of it. Reading while someone counts down and trying to comprehend while someone counts down is just mean. It feels mean. And I'm, you know, I am a reader. And even as a reader, I find that kind of a little bit just unpleasant in a way that I can't get past. New Year's Eve out on the water. The old year drifts by as flowers of light catch them midnight. They'll bloom above as your fireworks show. This is called Ring Out the Year. I didn't look at any instructions, but it looks like it might be reasonably intuitive. So let's just see what this is. We're collecting some floaty flower things. Yeah, I don't think the 4 minutes is the problem. It's the time limit of any kind. I don't know. I think I would play that sort of, you know, speed root trees game if it was like a half-hour time limit or something. But yeah, it's just, you kind of scan through the game and you know there's an X amount of documents and stuff, and it's like, well, I could reasonably read all of these in 4 minutes and understand them, but I want to play a game that feels like I could do it in one go, rather than the game failing you and then you have to play it and sort of cheat by knowing what happened last time, you know? Rhythm game to launch fireworks. This is very pretty. Very sweet. So you collect flowers, then you do a fireworks show, and it's kind of the new year. So you've got a minute, but it's framed as being the hour before midnight. Not quite sure I understand the relationship between this bit and the bit after it, though. I love how it's done. I love the sound, the kind of fake 3D depth, the Z axis, and the little bits of reflection of my koi as I'm riding it on the water. Very, very sweet. Kind of said there are a lot of weird references in that previous game. Yeah, I felt that way. I mean, I just winced a little bit when I saw the Great Replacement theory being referenced in that way, because it's a fascist concept, and I know that you probably weren't using it in that way, but I think as soon as you start going down that route of like, oh, we're going to use real world things to talk about humans' relationship with artificial intelligence, it just feels really quite crass. And you know, just read like any of the game's criticism that came out around Detroit Become Human that was like not mainstream games criticism but actual like deep criticism, and it was just like, yeah, this is kind of gross. They're like little historical bits of art. That's cool. I did wonder why it looked so collagey. That's lovely. You're collecting the flowers to create the fireworks. It's very sweet. I like that. Very nice visual design. Kind of, you could feel it was getting a bit slow when there was a lot of stuff happening on the screen. You could kind of feel it grind to a halt a little bit. Maybe runs better offline, but that was very sweet. Oh, look at these. These are nice. Dealing with death. Win around by getting closer to 21 than death does. If you go over, you lose. Oh, this is the one that Tom and Pals worked on. Tom from our Books podcast. There's an urban legend where I come from. Once a year, anyone brave or stupid enough can hop over the river, turn left at the big tree, cross the bridge, and challenge death to a game of cards. If they win, death will agree to let them live beyond their appointed time. If they lose, though, then they'll lose those years of their life. Okay, cool. No, I don't want to give you $2. Great vibe. It's giving the kind of tarot cards from Cyberpunk 2077 kind of vibe. We're gonna play blackjack. I'm already on 20. I'm sticking. That's how blackjack works. I've got to go back and play around every year. Interesting. Okay. Gamble. Halves this card's value while another heart is in the hand. Club subtracts its value from the total while another club is in the hand. Ooh, I see. Twist. Stick. This is an interesting take on blackjack. So we're trying to accumulate. We're trying to accumulate extra years on our life. A year passes. I'm just gonna do a basic twist on that. Oh. Gamble. Matches your lowest other spade's value when another spade is in the hand. So I put that there. Twist. Halves this card's value while there is another heart in the hand. Very interesting. I'm going to stick there. I think they're going to beat me. Ooh, yeah. You can do such interesting things with blackjack just by changing the data that the player is judging. Don't know why I stuck then. I was kind of forgetting what the words meant. Twist. Stick. Give me my years. I love to earn 0 years. The gamble mechanic's very interesting. Okay, so that's a 10, 15 gamble. Subtracts its value from the total while another club is in hand. Can I take both of these? Minus 19! Yes! Twist. 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 Twist? Oh, I can't do any more. Okay. Halves the card's value while another heart is in the hand. It won't let me draw more cards. That's sad. But I can, like, get rid of one of these and put a queen in hand. So if I get rid of a 9, if I swap that for the queen, it goes up to 20 and then I stick. That's a very interesting use of blackjack. Yeah, you're giving the player ability to, like, manipulate the cards that they've already drawn in a game of blackjack. But the options that you're given, you can kind of make things worse for yourself, which makes it interesting. Hearts halves, yeah, okay. Diamonds becomes worth 0 while another diamond is in the hand. So let's do that. We'll do that, which will bring that down. Is that is diamonds, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so we've only got 8. So twist again. And again. And again. Oof. I can't believe I just lost 13 years of my life. Death, you've got incredibly large earrings for someone with no ears. It's not a criticism, it's just an observation. Give me a gamble. Give me a gamble. Matches your lowest other spades value, which is a king. I'll go bust if I put that in my hand. Oh no, if I... That will become worth a 10, I think. If I put it in the 4 slot, then I'll take 4 away and then add 10, which will put me on 21. So, there we go, stick. Take that, death. Give me a twist. Give me a gamble. Give me another twist. We've got 7.5. That's the first time I've managed to get a float in this game. Interesting. Let's keep getting minus numbers. When else would you get to play a game of blackjack where you get to stick on -7? That's fun. That's fun. Can you imagine going into a casino, you're playing blackjack, you keep drawing cards. 10, 15, -7. Stick. I like this. I wondered what you were going to do with it, but that's a really cool... That's a really cool use of blackjack. Halves the card's value while another heart is in hand. Let's do that. Twist again. You can... Oh, 21.5! Oh, no, I'm not playing anymore. Not good. It's not a good spectator sport, but that's great. The developer has not uploaded a game yet. If the field above shows an error, please play the game here. Okay. We're going to be doing... Okay. Are we doing a soccer ban? Is that what's going on here? Not sure I understood what happened there. Shift. Don't understand what any of these objects are supposed to be. I feel bad. Some beautiful art here. I click, I've got an action I can do. Oh, I can move. Okay, so we're trying to blow up the things. And we've got these actions we can do, which are jump, swap, pull, push. Oh, I see. I need to get them in a line with each other so they blow each other up. I think they're supposed to be cultists. It's supposed to be a guy in a little hood, but I thought they were like statues or something for a long time. It's a ghost. It's a bit like that, there's a game in UFO 50 that's like this action programming game where you need to get things to hurt each other and stuff. It's the same sort of thing. Feels reasonably intuitive once you get into it and you understand what's going on. If I go here, pull this guy one closer to me. Well, that's where he's going to attack. Is that what that means? There's a attack each other. There's a spike pit there. Push. Swap with you. Don't think I can do anything now. Devolition, yeah, that's the one. It does remind me a little bit of that. Swap with you. Sounds great. I'm loving the sound design here. Very atmospheric. When you've got it on full screen, the text is a little bit too big. I'm not... I feel like I'm getting a sense of how the game works in a loose way, but I don't really understand the rules. I get that each of these pieces has a slightly different attack pattern and you're trying to like get them to hit each other. Okay, so this guy's going to attack all the way around there. So maybe there's a way I can bring them forward just one. So I need to bring them down here, really, and I don't know how I do that. Okay, we'll try and push them down the pit again. We need to swap with them to make them blow stuff up. I think I need to swap with them from there so that they take that guy out. Yeah, so it's the thing I tried first time, but just moving one step before I did the swap. That guys are going to attack all the way around there, so if we push them, so just in the right place, and then get out of the way. I think they're going to get each other. I think. No. I need them to get each other. It's going to get that one. Right, they're going to... The turquoise one gets things that are a diagonal next to it, and the pink one does this big square around it. But I don't think that's good enough. Okay, so we've got 4 moves. I think... Push them there. That's going to get that. Can't think my way around this one. I think solving the last level kind of made me quite tired as well. So I feel like my tolerance for this particular type of puzzle is quite low now. There's also something about the combination of it having this kind of dark vibe with it being this type of puzzle that just kind of makes it feel mean in a way that is... I don't know. I don't know if anyone else would experience it that way, but there's something about this using a grim, dark, edgy style when you're making a puzzle game that makes it feel more player hostile in a way that I don't immediately vibe with. And also we don't have an undo button, which I really needed then, and in kind of, you know, we have quite a long sequence for failure in this, and it kind of makes me want to have a one-step undo. There we go, that's the one. Did it, finally. Okay, I'm done with that one. Cool idea. Rituals of Relay, which is a Lovecraftian thing. I never know how you pronounce that one. Cool idea. Very cool aesthetic. I think there's something interesting going on, and I really don't think this will be a universal experience, but I think when you've got a very hard puzzle like that, and then it's got this kind of... I mean, it's almost like Scorn, isn't it? Like the combination of puzzling and the grim, dark aesthetics. It makes the game feel cruel in a way that I don't react well to when I feel stupid because I'm not solving a puzzle well. And it's not necessarily a criticism of this. I'm just thinking out loud about like how the game makes me feel as I play it. And it's the same thing I got from the 4 Minutes game, where it's like This game is making me feel stupid, and it's doing things that feel sadistic on top of that. And when you put those things together, it feels like I'm having an experience I don't want to have that I don't want to experience. The game mechanics here are great. The art and the sound is great. The puzzle design seems pretty good, but it just feels a little bit. I think probably I'm a little bit too tired for it, and the game kind of is creatively directed in a way that feels like it's kind of mocking me in a way that I'm just not on board for right now. A roguelike with incremental progression and management depth, all about feeding space maggots. Deliver scrap by day, tend the ranch by night, manage your crew, keep the profits flowing, or get fired into the sun. Okay, we're going to be showing some growing, doing some building, doing some relatively mindless stuff that I need to do after being killed by puzzles for 10 minutes. Yeah, there's something like in a soccer band, you usually have a rewind, and having that fail state in that game do that like everything falls down sequence. It looks really cool, but I think it just feels a little bit sadistic when you don't have the normal rewind functions and stuff that you usually have in a soccer band. Space Rat Ralph, the new Space Rancher Cadet. That's interesting, Cheese. Yeah, it's like a different part of your brain that you need to be on board for using. Passive, classic mag bike, plasma mallet. Okay. Space Rat Ralph. Thinking of the last Lovecraftian puzzle game I played was that Abyssum. I think the devs in our Discord actually, but that was like Boulder Dash with Lovecraft. But it felt different because it wasn't that very strict. There is one solution to the puzzle and you must get it right thing. Can I use my gamepad? I think I can. Okay. We're flying around. Pick up scrap and drive near the maggot to feed it. Each magnet carries one scrap. Okay. Wait, we're feeding... Yeah, I like puzzle games, but they need to like onboard you by giving you an easy time for a little while, and that's quite a hard thing to judge when you've only got 2 days to work on something, I think. Complete maggot feedings to charge your magbike power. Press E, press Y to activate it. You just get a speedy. Okay. So we're out of fuel. We're going to do some sort of building in the gaps, I guess. When a maggot dies, it spills fuel for the next day. Fill up your tank. Okay. Your plasma tool has limited uses that refresh every night. Use it to break that boulder. Very pretty, yeah. Don't seem to be able to break the boulder. Just getting a sequence of games that all hate me now. That's not a boulder. Oh, that's the maggot. Oh, yeah, okay. That boulder. Oh, it wants me to break the very specific boulder with the Kenny Assets Y above it. Dying maggots leave behind a replacement egg. Crack it to start the next day and grow me some space beetles. I will. Rusty Desert Day 2. Okay. So that can only pick up one thing at a time. This is reminding me of what one of our presenters was talking about when we had our little talk about incremental games the other day. And there was a point that, like, the reason why node busters feel saturated is because people don't really understand that it's not click on a thing and then go to a skill tree. It's the nesting of loops. It's like, have a very simple thing that lasts for 30 seconds, collect stuff, go to a skill tree. This feels like it understands that. It's like doing the node buster type structure without just copying the core mechanic, which isn't actually the thing that's the interesting thing. A worker that circles its building and produces scrap up. Okay. Not a fan of calling things slaves in games. It's just one of those words that has a different resonance depending on who you are. Okay. Can I hit you with a hammer? Yeah, I can. Excellent. Yeah, we could do with a little bit of juice when we're hitting things with a hammer. Come on, you put a big hammer to hit things with in your game. They don't go cronk. They don't go kapow. They don't go dunk. Crashing drops all of your scrap. Ooh. Is this what happened when the mice from Choo Choo Rocket, after that game went, and after that game was finished and they were out of employment, this is what they ended up doing afterwards? When workstations get damaged, their crewmates stop working. Any upgrades they have get disabled. Use your plasma tool to fix it. Do I have to? Fuel for the next day. Smash a boulder or clean up some grass. I think the way we've got this like four-way movement on the ship, and then you've got to like work out where to go, and as you upgrade you get more things to crash into. There's some really nice, very crunchy sort of self-balancing stuff in this game that I could see getting very, very interesting over time. Again, it's like it's just a cool way of approaching that sort of node bustery type thing of just the core gameplay can be anything, but it needs to be something different from the famous game, you know. You're basically making like a very upgradable micro game that lasts 30 seconds or less, and then putting a big economic sink around it, and you are supposed to innovate on that bit, you know. You are supposed to try and make it something different and not just make it the same thing with slightly different art or whatever. Nice little UX thing here of none of this starts until I push a direction as well. Lots of very thoughtful design. The blue helper is just going out picking stuff up. Space beetle incoming. I think if this was a larger game, if this is one that you felt like you wanted to like work on more and finish, I would consider making some of these characters just have a visual distinguisher that tells you their job. So like maybe the blue one has a little backpack on so that you can remember that they carry stuff or whatever, just so that they're distinguished by something other than just color. Something that kind of reminds you what they do. Okay, $25. I hope we eventually get something that should eventually get something that picks up the excess oil and uses it for something. It's kind of hard to see when our hammer has run out in those sequences. We get a certain amount of hits with the hammer, but there doesn't seem to be a bar for it anywhere or anything like that. Don't run over your worker. I wish I hadn't put that so close to the base. I'm the wing condition now. That's what you think. Yeah, I had this conversation with someone about slave before. Like, they had a fantasy game, and I said, just use some other word that means the same thing, like thrall or whatever. It's just, you know, people that have spent a long time about thinking, as people who've spent a long time thinking about that. I don't know why I kind of feel like I have to spell this out for people, but maybe I do. Like, not you specifically, Connor, but people do keep using the word. It's not that it's offensive, it's that there are people who have spent a lot of time thinking about how people in their not so distant families were in slavery, and they don't want to think about it completely out of the blue when they're consuming a piece of entertainment, whatever, you know. I think it's very easy for me to say something like that and not explain it, and people be like, oh, you're being too sensitive about something offensive. It's not about it being offensive, and that's the whole thing about content warnings and stuff. It's not about offending people, it's about making them think about something unpleasant when you don't have to, when they're there to experience something chilled out that has nothing to do with that thing, you know? I think that's the way I think about that stuff, you know, just like you wouldn't expect to see a word that you would associate with any other kind of very extreme, unpleasant thing that might have happened to a person or their families in a game of this type. You just wouldn't expect to think it, or see it, or whatever. And there's nothing else in the game that feels like it's that dark or edgy as well, so it just feels like it's tonally out of place. If this was like Binding of Isaac and everything was dark and edgy, I would be like, yeah, fine, I get where you're coming from. I think it's that thing where in this case it's just like people don't even realize how people feel about that word or its implications, you know. And some of it depends where you're from and everything as well. Like, I noticed... So in the UK, we use the word savage to mean when something is like horrible or... like, if someone is being unkind, we would call it or their behavior savage. And that doesn't necessarily have, as far as I'm aware, any clear link to kind of racism or colonialism. I guess it does historically, but then when I've heard Americans respond to that casual usage of that term, they see it as in much more colonial terms. And there's a similar thing with thug in America, where thug is very racialized. And thug in the UK, you know, most people, if you told them to draw a thug, they would draw a white football hooligan or something. I mean, hooligan's another one. Hooligan is like a historically a racist term that was used towards Irish people. So, you know, that's another one. You just can't escape it. You can't escape it. And you can't escape the fact that people have different meanings of words. And the if you never talk about the meanings of words as well, like I'm trying to do now, then people always think that the meaning that they've heard of the term is the only one that exists as well, which is another fun aspect of being a human. Yeah, I think the picking up the fuel between the stuff, between the rounds, was just there to give us some initial thing to do before we had actual cool stuff to pick up. It does become busy work, so it feels like it's something that we need to be able to like upgrade away from having to do eventually. His behavior changes when placed with this upgrade nature. Tech nature, economy nature. Okay, so you can like place them down, and depending on where you place them on the grid, they're gonna have like different behaviors apparently. Interesting. Yeah, it would be interesting to upgrade the rocket, because it would also make the caution part of the game harder. Like, we can have this kind of weird upgrading thing where we upgrade the speed of the rocket, and then also it makes it easier to crash, right? So it's kind of balancing the game so that you can do more, but you're also messing it up for yourself a little bit more. Space Beetle incoming. This game gets quite a lot out of cheese. It's kind of like you were saying about how games benefit from grids because of all of like all of the extra rule interactions you get from a grid, like adjacency and stuff. The fact that this is only four-way movement is kind of achieving a similar thing. Like, the awkwardness of piloting the thing when it can only move in the cardinal directions is actually adding quite a lot to the game. I've never got enough money to hire a new guy. So that time I didn't pick up the fuel, and then now I don't have enough. Yeah, at some point you need to be able to or automate the fuel, or have a thing where you can kind of pick it up, but you can pick it all up, but the wasted fuel does something else or whatever. I don't know. There's something weird going on there. You're fired. That's a cool game. I like that. I could see that being a bigger, longer thing, but I think we need a little bit more variation in what we're spending stuff on between the rockety bit for it to feel like it's evolving. Okay, down deep. We're finding glow seeds. We're a deep sea diver. There's a bulbfish. Moving with AD, jumping with space, aiming with the mouse to send the bulbfish. Fallen London platformer. That's very atmospheric. Kind of goofy that we're jumping in a platformer when it's under the sea, but kind of fun as well. Aim with the mouse, then left click or press C. Okay. Is that what? Am I supposed to take that? Oh, I see. Sound design in this is superb. Something I do find a bit strange here is like this is very, very beautiful. The diver does feel goofy though, and it does make me wonder, why didn't we just have this as like a bathysphere? Why didn't we have like a little kind of round submarine as the character instead of a person? But yeah, the environmental art is wonderful. I think the walking would have always felt funny because it's like, this isn't what you do under the water. I guess if it was like a big, heavy diving suit that justified having the gravity, right? But I would have been tempted to just go, okay, it's just a bathysphere. It's like a ball, you know? I love to jump down a hole. The sound is so good. My little bulbfish friend. Can you go through there? Can you swim through the gap? I've got to go back up. Yeah, monochrome can be great. We love monochrome. But it just needs to be done very well. It's done very, very well here. And again, think about it. This is someone's jam game. The game from last week, what was it called? The Fabric of the Mind. That was something someone had put on Steam. And this is so much more confident in its use of monochrome for the art. It's precisely because we're not using monochrome to try and hide from having to like actually spend some time drawing things and getting the form and the shape of them right, you know? There we go, we can go down now. Plop. Things that go plop in the dark. So when I was kind of... I I was doing this project a month or two ago where I was going through all of the games that came out in Steam in a month, and I ended up abandoning it for now. I think I'm going to come back to it later because I built a system that I think is interesting, but I need to test it when I've got like a quiet month. But I was like trying to come up with names for the art styles I saw on Steam, and this I would put in my kind of traditional illustration category of like, this looks like something where someone who can draw did a pretty good job. And I think that black and white game that I played last week, The Fabric of the Mind, would have been in the category. I think I called it like digital, like utilitarian digital art, which is basically like the dev has done their best job at making some art, but you can tell they haven't really tried to train a skill. You know, they haven't like tried to get better at a thing. They've just done what they could do with the skill that they started off with. And this isn't that. This is like, you know, again, the shape work is really good. And it feels let down by the fact we haven't got a animation. And I don't think that's a time constraint thing. I think you should have just thought around the problem and not made it a human, you know? Because having this as a little ship that maybe is suggested has humans in it would have worked fine and worked with the constraint. Why did it go dark then? Don't know what happened that time. We just got a time limit up here, I guess. There are many disciplines, yeah, but I think some of it just comes down to, like, is someone realistically taking on the responsibilities that you take on when you decide to do a bunch of stuff yourself? And again, when it's jams and hobby projects, do what you want, but as soon as people are putting stuff on Steam, I immediately become more critical because you are messaging to the world that you want them to give you money for it. That was great. Well done, devs of Down Deep. Really, really nice. The sound design on that was superb. The just kind of everything really readable as well, despite it being dark and monochrome. Really thoughtful visual design on that. Really great sound design. Just think you could have... If we didn't have that diver with a lack of animations, that would have not felt like a jam game at all. That would have just felt like a first few levels of a game. Nice. Okay, fuel crisis. Your spaceship has run out of fuel. Oh, this is the 3D platformer soccer band thing that someone was mentioning. That's rather loud. That's rather loud. Also, it's stopped now. There was like a 5-second loop of music that only played once. Interesting. Control and R to reset a level, WAS to move, space to jump, E to push boxes. Okay. It's that guy. Level complete. Don't mind if I do. Very cute. Stacking boxes. Okay. They go on top of each other when you do that. They move together when they're on top of each other as well. And then you can use them to climb. Oh, this is very smart. Look at that. That's very cool. 3, 2, 1. Oh no. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing here. I think that's a quota. I'm supposed to put a 3 on one of them, and I think it would be good if these followed the player. It's a little bit confusing to have a 3D number and let it rotate so that it's the wrong way round. Right, let's go back and restart this one again. Okay, so we need that there to build the staircase. We use these to build the top of the staircase. We go up there, and then we're in a separate puzzle. Okay. Oh, I think I know what we do here. We go like this, round this way. Go up on here. 1. No, that's not going to do it. I think the retry thing on this is a little bit harsh. I think the way that this level is structured is a little bit mean because it makes me redo the bit that I know how to do in order to get to the bit where I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, back here again. Oh, I can jump and push, can't I? So I can just do that. Yeah. Okay, that was... I was overthinking it. I forgot about the platformery jumpy part of the game. So 5, 4, 3, and we're done. So we're setting the numbers. I think as a feedback thing, it would be nice to have them do something special when they're on the spaces and have the correct amount, you know, like a little green or blue glowing outline just to show that they are sort of locked in as the correct thing. This is really sweet. I like what's happening here. Let's see how this works. So can I push that? And that? Okay, and then I'm going to push that up the hill, presumably, onto that 1 up there. Forward. Is that going to fall on my head? No. Okay, that's good, I guess. Very cute. Maybe I don't hate soccer bands so much when you can jump around a little bit. Maybe I just hated the camera angle or something. I don't know. Maybe I just want to be a little alien. Everything's better when you get to be a little alien. Ah! Oh, okay, that's good. I thought that was bad. That was a bad thing is happening sound. And then a good thing happened. We need a 1 in there. But there's a hole, so we're gonna... Or maybe we need to climb up there? Bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Bam. Something like that. Bam. This ain't gonna work. Perfect. Yeah, Falco, I think that's maybe what I'm experiencing. I think that's probably why, like, I generally don't respond very well to traditional soccer band puzzles, and it's because, I think it's exactly right. You're like, the actual physical activity of pushing the things around and doing the thing usually isn't very fun, and that means if you don't understand what you're doing, there's nothing to kind of fill in the gaps and, you know, give you something fun to do while you're waiting for your brain to know the answer. Interesting. Interesting. That can't be pushed anymore. So that way of getting up there doesn't seem to be what we need to do. We need to do something else. And yeah, even just like being in a situation where I can move the camera around and look around makes me feel more like I'm doing something. Maybe we do something like stack them up. That's not going to help either. That's just, we're still ending up in the same place. I think what I need to get to a position where as the last thing I do, I push a thing around with another block on and drop it in there. That's where we're trying to get to, but I'm not sure how we get there. But I've got a little bit of that. I feel like my brain is slightly closer to the solution now. We need to donk that 4 down on top of that 3 from up there. That's it. It's almost like because we're sort of moving around and moving the camera, the kind of ability to jog your own brain towards having the solution is just a lot easier. It's a really, really interesting dynamic there. Like, the thing that happens when a game I'm normally not that interested in becomes 3D and has the ability to kind of move the camera around and think about space a little bit more. That's just, I don't know, it's... This can't be the solution. This is so difficult. I mean, it can't be that difficult because I did it and I'm not good at these, so... Maybe it's not that difficult, but I don't know. Feels difficult. Oh, it's not the solution. I've seen things you wouldn't believe. Numbers counting down. Cubes on fire off of Orion's belt. The number 3 rotating backwards at the Tannhauser gate. And soon all of it will be gone, like tears in... Whoop! Oh, what was I talking about? I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. It's too much like hard work. It's the fact that the top one counts down when you're not pushing it. Like, why? Yeah, it would be great if the robot was, like, nudging them or headbutting them. That would be funny. The push action was like a little headbutt. Yeah, it feels like moving one with the countdown feels like it should be triggered by you pushing, not by the block being moved. Hmm. I don't understand how you're supposed to do this. Okay, let's go back. Just forward 2 like that. Yeah, I really need a I think I was overcomplicating the solution I had in my head by 1 step. Aha! And so, I am the Supreme Cube Loader. That's the thing that picks them up. Just put them all on there like that. Just push it into the orange wall for some reason. Ah. I see. You don't like it when I put my naughty cubes on your little yellow box, do you? You don't like it? Well, we'll see about that. I think I'm done with this one for the day, but I do really, really like this. And it's very strange to have a type of game that you normally don't get on with and then just kind of change the way the space and the interaction works and suddenly go, oh, actually, maybe I do enjoy these. I just don't enjoy the normal way that you're expected to interact with the world in them. Because I think that is the thing that I have with soccer bum puzzles. It's like I look at them and it's like, well, can I work this out without trial and error? Can I just look at the puzzle in front of me and just sort of puzzle it out? And then it's like, well, why am I playing a video game? Because there's nothing to kind of move around and do. So having the fact that I can the fact that I can do this with the camera when I'm stuck and look at things from different angles, it's not helping me solve the puzzle, but it's helping me pass the time while my brain kind of clicks in certain things and does. Because I've been thinking a lot about this, of like what happens when you're solving a puzzle, and a lot of it is lateral thinking, which basically means that you are trying to get your brain to think in a not totally linear, rational way about things. And that's why you have a eureka moment when you get a puzzle. It's not because you rationally puzzled the puzzle out. It's because something else happened that allowed you to see something and how it worked. And that sort of thinking happens more when you're just sort of meandering around, half paying attention to it. It's one of the reasons why when you get people that do stage magic, you know, like up close magic, and they do all of these like misdirections and stuff, the people that are the worst type of audiences for them are the people that don't pay proper attention, because the people who aren't paying full attention to the magic trick are the people that notice the weird little things that the magician is doing to trick you. Yeah. That's great. I really, really like that. I wasn't expecting to. It was good. Hunter Diorama. I had this in the queue. Someone had sent this to the normal playtesting queue, so I will take it out of that queue, I think. Great looking art cell here. Last game of the day. Thanks for popping in today, folks, and thanks for sending them over. We're going to do some stuff with some standee hunters. I don't know what that means. We've got some... Sorry, my audio's a little bit fuzzy. My sound card is starting to die. I need to get a new one. I might just have to... Let me just see if I can get that to stop. Here we go. I don't hear as much fuzz now. Sound's still going to be a bit fuzzy. I'll just turn it down a little bit. Glad it waited till the end of the stream to crap out. Hey, I just received a rescue quest. The location of the quest is near your location. Would you like to take it? Sure, we are always happy to help. Great, I'll send you the details now. A Vesper Hound, huh? Seems quite dangerous. I can probably take him on myself. These are very cute. They're very cute. Love the little 3D diorama thing with the camera and the cardboard and the... It's just nice. Are you sure you can do this alone? Would you like me to come with? No need, I'm confident I can do it. It's just a Vesper Hound. Sure then, have a safe trip. Okay. They're very cute, aren't they? Action slots. Combat in Hunter Diorama is mostly deterministic, meaning you can see your enemy actions before they act. All actions are played on the action slots according to their time cost. So we're doing action programming, I guess. Each round has 6 slots, executing from 6 to 1. The higher the attack's cost, the lower slot it is placed in. Each slot that the character has to pass through will drain 1 HP, not counting the slot the action is executed, meaning if you use a skill that costs 5 time slots, it will also take 4 HP. The character will also regain 2 HP at the start of the next turn, so ration your health carefully. The players are placed on 3 lanes, with each skill influencing where the character will end up. The enemy can attack 1 or 2 or 3 lanes, but if you stand on a lane that isn't attacked, you won't take damage. Okay. Right. These are my moves. That's what's going on. Don't think I can actually do anything. What am I doing? That's my character. End turn, I guess. That's fun. If the enemy's time cost and the stagger you deal is more than 6, the enemy is stunned, indicated by the red X. Enemy that is stunned will lose its turn. Okay. I think this is one of those games where it's like, this is probably really cool, but it's just a bit too complex for a jam game, and like the amount of mental energy people are going to have coming to your game after playing 5 or 10 games in a row is just going to be too low for learning a game like this. The VFX on that heal are nice. An enemy that was stunned last turn will be shielded this turn, making it immune to all stagger. Okay, what am I doing, though? What am I doing in terms of interacting and thinking? And I've got moves here. I choose a move that puts me in an order up here. After I've chosen the move, I can't click on the other one, so I've already locked myself in, I think. That's me doing Seismic Slam. They've knocked me back with that attack. If you want to cancel a skill, click on the number cylinder. Ah, okay, okay, that stores your. Okay, that's what I needed last turn. Okay, vaulting slam will move me forward. A heavy slam will move me forward. -1, +1. Is that the action of like? Is that movement? So that's where we go on the time thing. That's stun. I don't know what all of these symbols mean. We're going to do a vaulting slam so I can do it more quickly and move forward, I think. It's a really interesting project because I think the art and the diorama thing is absolutely gorgeous. And it's a shame that we've made, like, I guess what you've done is you've taken gameplay from another game that you're familiar with. So the gameplay doesn't feel that complex, but it almost seems like a bad test case for this really, really lovely art because, again, maybe there's just something about the way that this was all explained that made this seem more complicated than it was. I also just don't understand why it uses my HP to do attacks if I'm further along this timeline. Like, the game told me that that would happen, but I'm not really sure why that happens. That's one of those things where you'd have to come up with a good thematic reason for that, you know? Maybe it's depending on how... Instead of taking health off, there's like a debuff that's called exhaustion, and it's like, at the start of your next turn, you will lose this much health. And it's framed as exhaustion rather than you hurting yourself when you do an attack, because that is not going to make much intuitive sense. And again, I don't understand the game that this is referring to, referencing how similar it is. There may be some mechanics where you've taken them one for one and they make sense to someone who's played that game, but... It's very cute that they're on the little rods. Oh, you're gonna dive. I'm not totally sure how knowing their intents is supposed to affect my actions. No, I'm not taking suggestions because this is the last game from the community and I'm tired, so I'm logging off after this. Might need some help. He's getting mad. Am I going to get some more characters? Because maybe the tactics of this will start to make sense when there's more characters. The problem I'm having is these kind of, I can see how these relate to each other. Of like, this is a fast thing, this is a heavy thing. I understand on a very basic level how these relate to each other in terms of trade-offs. What I don't understand is what the enemy intents are supposed to tell me about how I'm supposed to choose my moves. There feels like there's a gap there. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you would fix that. There we go, I'm dead. I'm going to leave it at that because I didn't really understand the gameplay. The art approach is beautiful. Yeah, I haven't played Star Renegade, so I don't understand the combat system and how much of what I was experiencing was just stuff because you've kind of taken it from there and it doesn't make sense out of context. But yeah, cool. I think a thing that's confusing, I think the terminology of lanes is a little bit confusing as well. Because when I think of lanes, I think of like direction, like lanes to me are parallel directional paths heading to the same point. Right? So when you talk about a lane in a MOBA like Dota or League, they are heading between the same points They go different routes, but they are they're like parallel to each other on some level. These aren't really lanes, are they? They're because they're perpendicular to the way that you're fighting. There's something else. I'm not sure what you would call those. They're ranks or what are they called in Darkest Dungeon? They probably just called positions. I don't know, but yeah, lanes is a confusing term for that. Yeah, I mean, I think tongue. As soon as you start using words like onboarding for a jam game, you just sort of overscoped. Because even if you could build the perfectly onboarded version of the game you want to build, the reality of when people are playing jam games is that they sit down and they play each game for 5 minutes. A lot of people play, because they want to work through them and vote for things. And sometimes you're just in an area of complexity where it's just like, yeah, you could spend time making it better onboarding, but it may have just been better to make something simpler. It's definitely a world where you can do that kind of action programming thing and just make it a little bit simpler, but all of the visual stuff is great. My problem was I couldn't look at the game and see what my actual tactical decisions meant. I could see that I had a set of moves that were basically like low risk reward, high risk reward, middle, and I could kind of understand how, based on all of the mechanics you showed me, there were these three moves, and one was like a low risk reward and one was a high risk reward. But I didn't really understand how the enemy intents were supposed to guide which move I should use every turn or anything like that. So I didn't really feel like I was making any informed decisions about stuff in the game. I liked what I saw when I was executing the moves, but as a kind of piece of tactics, I was just completely kind of just clicking random stuff, really. So that's kind of stuff to think about, and it's very easy to get into that position when you've got all of this interface and everything, and then it just doesn't really amount to anything in terms of what the player has to think about. And I don't know. I want to look at Star Renegades quickly, just because I want to see where we're drawing this from. Oh yeah, it's got like a timeline thing up the top. Yeah, I think it's very hard to make the timeline make sense when you're introducing one character at a time as well, because because it's all about relationships, isn't it? If you're fighting 4 enemies and you've got 4 characters, then you need the multiple characters to make sense of the timeline. Otherwise, it's just like A and B, and is one before the other. So I think that's a little bit of a problem there. But yeah, well done. Second game, amazing. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you all for sending your games over. I'm just going to quickly check whether anyone in the Discord has last minute plopped anything in. No, just a Peter Serafinowicz bit, of course. Yeah, thank you so much for sending your games in. I hope you had a good jam. If there are any more, then keep posting them on the Discord. And I will be back sometime in the week. I'm just getting all of the timetable and stream thumbnails ready now. Got taking a slightly more chaotic approach to my thumbnails for streams in August. I thought I've been making them look too serious. I've been making them look too. So we're going down the troll thumbnail path now, digging holes, but it is in space. Airplanes or big boat? Who will win? Let's do gambling and get in debt. It is time for us to look at your video game prototypes. These are the thumbnails for August. We're gonna have a silly August with the streams. Games in mundane settings. Not this. Yeah, that's what diamonds look like when they come out of the ground. Also, that's what this guy's hands look like. Let's do let's make this even better. Yeah, it's the Simpsons barbecue, and it's Andre 3000 in the video for the Outcast song Prototype, going, "I hope that you're the one." See you guys later. Thanks, and have a good Sunday tomorrow.